What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Live Composing Show. I'm your host, Stephen Melin. I'm excited to hang out with you here today. So a quick question in the chat. Welcome, Marie. Welcome, Rob, Robin, several others who are popping in here. Marie said, hello, how is baby Melin going? Hopefully okay. Because last week, if you joined last week, my baby was sick. And he was fighting all kinds of stuff, and it took all the way until the rest of the weekend for him to heal. But thankfully, he's back in school, and everyone's good to go. So yay, Melin family is rocking. We're actually having an amazing week. And crazy fact, I haven't written music at all this week. It's just been a weird week, a ton of admin stuff, a ton of like businessy manager stuff, managing team members and working really heavily on Simple Samples audio and putting some deals together for that, working on a brand new instrument, which is going to be mind-blowing. I've invested a lot into this instrument, an upcoming library that's coming in the next couple months. And Screen Music Academy, working on all the infrastructure of that and working on courses and such. So I've been really busy with all of those types of things, which I love doing. But as a musician, man, if I go about a week without writing music, I just start to feel like very angsty. It's just kind of crazy how that works. But you guys know that. You're composers. You get it. There just seems to be a certain time period. And I think the longer you live, the older you are, the longer that time span can be. Because it used to be I couldn't go a day without writing music, or 2 days, or playing an instrument. But now it's like, yeah, I can go a week. But that's also just because time flies by so fast. But anyway, I'm really excited because I literally haven't written music in a week since the last live composing show, which is another reason why I do this show, because it literally forces me to write music and to work on my projects and stuff, even if I don't want to or I don't have time to. So yeah, this is really cool. So today we're talking about the Boar Knight musical podcast. Been working on this for quite some time now, and we are on episode 12. Now, last week the last time we did the Boar Knight stream, we worked on 2 different tunes, and one of them was Shrimp of Industry, which was episode 11. Now, that crazy madness that I sent to the team, they didn't like it too much. They thought it was too on the nose, too, ridiculous. And it didn't really match the vibe or the brief that they gave me. So instead, what we're going to do today is I want to redo that track. And thankfully, I already spent a little bit of time this morning setting up the session. So it really will be a pretty quick one today, where I just want to redo the episode 11. And then afterwards, we'll dive into the main event, which is starting with episode 12, Up and Away, the story of, let me read my notes here. Comet the Cow, right? I think that's what I wrote. Yes, Comet the Cow, who loves her home, is traveling to space to further cow kind, all in the name of science. So we'll get to that one. That would be a really fun one to do today. But yes, we're going to be redoing Shrimp of Industry, which is episode 11 of this crazy long series. And for those unaware, this series is a musical podcast. So I'm writing it literally like I would write a musical theater stage play. It almost functions in the same way, where there's acting and there's dialogue and such, and then the music comes in, always some kind of musical intro that's instrumental, and then boom, we jump right in, and it's always part of the story. And then sometimes there's dialogue afterwards, other times it's the end of the episode. But this is a really cool way to basically doing a Broadway musical without the visuals. It's all audio, right? So it's a really cool medium, something new that I'm really excited to be a part of. And there's 15 episodes in total, so we're getting really close to the end here. And before we jump in, I'm going to reply to a couple comments here. Cassius, welcome, says, I'm glad the baby's feeling better. Yes. And Raphael says, hello. In all seriousness, hi, everyone. Wait, what was wrong with the kid? One of my kids was sick last week. And if you see me doing this, it's because I have a fly who wants my coffee, and he's not going to get it. This is total random fact here. But about 4 months ago, I switched my coffee to making it all from scratch, where I make the coffee and I put vanilla extract with some heavy whipping cream and tablespoon of sugar in the raw and a couple of dashes of cinnamon. And it is my absolute favorite coffee. Obviously the sugar portion is not the healthiest, but that's all the sugar I have in the day. So it's quite wonderful. It's my little treat every day. But anyway, totally. Did I hit the fly? Did I actually get him? Because he's not back. Yeah. I hate flies so much. Down here in Georgia, let me fix my camera real quick before we get too far. There we go. I like for you guys to actually be able to see what's going on. Sometimes my camera gets bumped. Another fun fact is I have 2 cats, 2 family cats, and sometimes they like to play up here on the desk, and they like swat at the cameras. It's kind of stupid, but it happens. So if you ever wonder, like, there's a really weird angle, it's probably because of them. Now I'm getting all crazy here, but I want to fix it real quick because we have a lot of writing to do. All right, cool. Yeah, I know flies down here in Georgia, in Atlanta, they're everywhere. Every season, mostly in the summer, but goodness gracious, it's already freezing cold outside and they're still here. I just don't understand. I will not knock over the coffee, but there's nothing worse than a fly that lands in your coffee, which has happened multiple times already this season. And it's just the worst because he's about to get my coffee. I spent so much time making the dang coffee. He's not allowed to get in there. So you know what? Before I lose my ever-loving mind, here we go. It's the greatest tool of all time. It's called a sheet of paper. You put it on top of the coffee, and that way the flies can't get inside. And everyone's happy. So this is my life right now. Okay, let's write some music, shall we? All right, cool. So the episode 11, Shrimp of Industry. The original note was to write a song in the vein of the Monkees, good old classic rock band from the 70s, 60s even. And the reference track was Daydream Believer. Now, I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'll only play this for like a few seconds just to give you a recap. But this is the style we're going for over here. Cool. So that's the style we're going for here, which is very, very light. You might call it soft pop rock. So it's a very, very chill drum beat. And we have tambourine on the offbeats. So I took a little bit of time this morning just to record some shaker and to record some tambourine just to kind of get that style. Sounds like this, shaker. Right? And then we got a tambourine down here. Just grab those behind me. Just kind of get a beat going. And then I took a drum kit, threw a little bit of reverb on it. And yes, Raphael, paper is so underrated. I use paper for everything. And then added a bass line. Kind of like that. And then made a little chorus section. Super 70s here. And then I don't play guitar a lot, but I whipped out the guitar and played some chords. And FYI, this is a demo track, so I'm not going to be the final one playing guitar. I'll have a real guitarist play it, but get the idea. And then the most important instrument here, which is always wonderful to say, the upright piano. So I literally just played in the key of C, and I figured out, okay, what are like the chords you would use to try to get this 70s vibe? And it's a traditional pop progression, but what I've kind of figured out is in the 70s music, 60s and 70s music, the phrases are usually twice as long as, modern pop, which is typically 4 chords or maybe 5 chords. And it's interesting because it's more like 8 chords in these phrases, and they're much longer. And I think it's really interesting. So I tried to do an 8-bar phrase. And yes, holy moly, my guitar is always out of tune. Don't even. So that's the idea I have so far. That was the idea for a verse. And then for the chorus, I want it to be twice the speed and to add this tambourine on the offbeats. That's what I got so far, and there's a lot I could do with this. Now, let's remind ourselves of the brief from this episode. This is called Shrimp of Industry. It's about a bunch of shrimp undersea. A lot of this story has to do with undersea creatures. And it's a bunch of shrimp who accidentally start a cult. Perhaps it's the first time it's ever happened, and each verse talks about various instances where it's happened before. It seems weird to talk about the first instance that just happened, but maybe there could be hilarious too. So the shrimp are going to have really, really high voices, that kind of thing. And last week when we did this, I went totally like hardcore maniacal, which they didn't like. And that, if you remember, I think I did. I went very Russian, like, we are the shrimp of industry. Dun, dun. We started a cult accidentally. Right, I just like did weird chromatic stuff. It was very dark. But unfortunately, that they didn't like that. So we're going a different direction today. And this is still a juxtaposition of evil and happy. So it's like something really dark mixed with something very light. And I think it's going to be fun just doing this overly cheery tune. So I don't have any lyrics to work with yet, but I want to kind of put some kind of melody in here. So I think for today, instead of using a piano for the vocal, I'll sing something in a minute, but I want to use something that's going to cut through. Like a Rhodes or something. It has so much reverb on it. You know what Rhodes always reminds me of? Final Fantasy VIII. I think that was one of Uematsu's favorite instruments. That'll do. That's fine. The idea here is to have this little intro piece, and then for the verse, we start a cult. We didn't have a clue. We started. Let's see. It's got to be like, it's got to feel innocent. Like, we accidentally started a cult we didn't know. so Beatles-esque, Monkeys-esque. I like it. I tried to use 3 minor chords in a row, and that seems to do the trick. Trying to figure out like what's the vibe here. B minor, E minor, A minor. So C, D, B minor, E minor, A minor, then the 5 to the 5 to the 1. But we're in the key of G, so everything starts on a 4, the predominant. So yeah, it's good pop writing as far as like the cyclical nature of the chord progression. We know, I do like that. Cool. Da, da, da. I like changing the note. La, da, da, dum, bum. All right, let's think of some, just like a phrase or two that would really fit the vibe. So, shrimp of industry. We don't have to say that in the lyric, but I have to do something about being innocent and accidentally starting a cult. That's kind of the whole point. We just started cold. I'm trying to figure out some syllables. We just start. We didn't mean to start one. It just happened all at once. It just happened all at once. I like that. We didn't start. We didn't mean to start one. It just started all at once. We didn't. Haha. Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Yeah, pretty close. It just happened all at once. It's fun. Started overnight. Let's play around. This is the fun of playing music. Get to goof around. Check. And this is a mic check. What shall I say? We started. We didn't start. We started. We now I'm just going to do the das. It's easier. Okie dokie. And let's do... These are all demos. But I like the idea of like the 70s boy band of doing harmonies. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Gotta hold the microphone the right way. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. One more try. I could live with that. All right, this part. It's a fun little tune. Ooh, I gotta write a melody for this. And so, for any of you who sing or do this kind of stuff, the reason I like to write in the vocal melody is so that way I can see and read with my eyes, read the MIDI information. That way I know when to time my different syllables and stuff. It seems to be slower in pace. This is a good, like, just being a fly on the wall of how I write melodies. I really do, even though I kind of make up melodies on the spot, I do try to think of the rhythmic pacing, because a chorus traditionally is going to be a little bit more upbeat and have about twice the amount of words and rhythm as a verse. A verse needs to be a little more spread out. So that's why I'm not going ya da 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 da. It's just too much, right? So instead I'm going ya da da da. That's good because it then goes up to the third. So that's actually a good pacing there. I'm also trying to choose notes that lead us well into the chorus. So even though this repeats the same 8 bars twice, chord-wise, it's the same phrase, I want the melody to go down and then to go up like a little wave. You can see that here. See how I made it go. It starts in the B, da, 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 so it goes up and then down, da, 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 then it goes down. Then back to the middle, ya, da, 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 down, da, 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 da. And then that way, when you get to the chorus, ya da 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 ba da bum. I think that makes for a nice melody. I definitely consider myself a melodic writer more than anything else. And this could be individual shrimp singing, and we'll figure that stuff out later, because those are kind of the gimmicks. I want the core of the song to still be good and to have some heart. Let's do it. La da da dum. La 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 la. And with any good production, you want just one vocal on the verse, and then we'll have like the full choir and stuff on the chorus. But again, the whole purpose of this is just to have a demo for them to critique. So even from a production standpoint, for those of you who work with vocals, it's good to make a separate track dedicated for the verses. So you would call this verse melody vocal. You'd call this the chorus melody, and then you'd call this the chorus harmony. That way you want to do different effects and different volume levels and things with each. So let's do that real quick. So yeah, I want to make sure that the it's kind of a slightly different sound. Even though I know we're not actually mixing this for real, it's still nice to do something different. That tambourine makes it, tell you what. La 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 la. So now really the gimmick here is we would take these and then throw a pitch correct on it to go an octave higher. so that they be shrimp. So we do this. And there we go. Yay. I think that's all we need to do for that. Obviously, I can keep writing the song, but I want to make sure it's the right direction. They like it. But I'm pretty happy even as just a basic mix. So what we're doing here is we're writing a serious song, but exactly as Marie just said, it gets funny as soon as you add the pitch change because it's goofy and they're little shrimp singing. So I think that's what they wanted, is a serious song that once sung through the filter, it'll make it really goofy. So let's do this. Let me play. You'll hear it as we export, but I'm going to export this little demo here, and then we'll move on to the next song. Okie, here we go. And as always, you guys know how I export. I typically just do a WAV file, but because it's a demo, I'm going to do the demo, and this will be, what's the name of it? This is episode 11, Shrimp of Industry, version 2, demo, and that'll be good. Da, 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 da. Give me 2 seconds. Da, 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 da. Here it is. All right, enjoy. Wow, Cubase just took an epic fail. Let me actually make sure that this is going to play for us. Had a weird... Didn't crash. It just like was stumbling like a drunk person. All right. Give me 2 seconds. This is just the reality of streaming. So many things. Cool. That's pretty amazing. So it prioritized getting a good track over the stream sounding perfect. So that's cool. That's really good to know that Cubase will still do its job even if everything else doesn't work out. But cool. All right, let's move on to the next track. Let me get that grabbed here. La da da da. Man, that's like already stuck in my head. La da 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 ya da da la da da da. And I am no lyricist. I am terrible at writing lyrics, so you don't want me doing that. But I really enjoy this process because what it means is, you know, I send that demo off to the team and then they'll come back with a full slew of lyrics. And usually they're like 90% good. And then what I'll do is I'll sing them. And if I want to tweak a phrase or a word here or there, I do. And then I send it back and we get it orchestrated by Mike Petrie, working on this project. And it's good to go. All right, so let's switch over here, make sure the sound is on. I think I've done enough streams to know to hit the dang start button. But yeah, so here we go. So here we are on episode 12, the main event of today. This is called Up and Away. I'm excited about this one. It's very different. So this one is the story of Comet the Cow, who loves her home. She's very simple and friendly, and she's traveling to space to further all of cowkind. Raphael says, wow, a catchy tune in 20 minutes. This is what I do, guys. This is what I do. It's my job to write fast. Okay, so the team really wants to use and include some kind of synth as a lead line, or at least as a harmony or something, because our character is very technical and sciencey, and because they made a note that it fits the retro optimism of the musical era that they're pulling from. So they give me two different source material here, and these are really old tunes from the 50s. So I want to pull those up real quick. First one is Let's Go Sunning. This is an old one. I don't even know where this was from, but this is Jack Shandlin. I had never heard this before, but it's an old school tune. So let's listen in for a moment.
Native, sun your cares away, be creative, learn to live and play. Pretty flowers need the to everyone, so let's go sunning.
And apparently I learned that song is in Destroy All Humans. Pretty cool, the game. Another one is I'm in Love with a Wonderful Guy from South Pacific.
I'm as corny as Kansas in August, high as a flag on the 4th of July.
So you can kind of hear this Americana vibe that we're going for, the old school 50s type sound, and that's a very particular thing, and I don't naturally write that kind of music, but the cool thing is I know people who play those instruments and such that will give it that vibe. So at the core, I just need to make sure that I write the song to really fit that style. So I played around with this a little bit earlier. It didn't get very far. I wanted to do it here live with you guys, but here's the little taste of what I came up with so far.
Up and away,
That's the idea. And these are not chords that I typically would pick, but it's going from major 1 to major 2 to minor 2 back to the 1. It kind of gives that old-timey vibe. And of course, adding the brush kit and the pizzicato. You think I got the right vibe? Thanks, Raphael. So we got to fill this out for sure, but that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And I just think both of these songs today actually really use the upright piano as the core. I mean, in fact, let me find it real quick. Let's Go Sunning has this like epic piano solo in the middle.
So let's go.
So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for here. And I feel like even just listening back to it now, I feel like we're going to really have to get that brush kit more active. Something like that, where it just has more motion.
Up and down way. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Let me actually pop that in real quick. I think something like that just has a lot more groove versus MIDI copy and paste. It's going to help a lot. And these are all eighth note swing, 67%. Or maybe that's wrong. I think I have to do 16th note swing. One moment. I like to do that 2/3 swing. It's a thing. Rob in the chat says, I'm from the Netherlands, so I have to listen very carefully what you are saying and translate it in my mind. But I understand the most of it. Yeah, you might have a hard time with Americana music because it's a very, very American thing from the 50s of, the 1950s. There's a very specific type of music. It's very jazz driven, but it was almost the beginnings of pop music as well. So it's this really interesting fusion of the two worlds. And we have a lot of strings, a lot of live strings. Of course, live that time. But so I really want to try to get some shrill, long strings here. That kind of thing, like this. Kind of has this fusion of orchestral meets swing meets the beginnings of pop. So it's a very specific type of music. Oh, what? Marie says, I don't know about you guys, but this reminds me of Majora's Mask when you enter a room with the Zoras. You're thinking of like the bass, the bossa nova. Boom, boom. What is it? Now you're making me want to play it. Boom, 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 doo-ba-doo-doo. Love Majora's Mask. So I wonder what effect I can put on these. It might be chorus. That's my initial guess here, that the strings are just swimming in chorus. What's it gonna be? It's too digital sounding. There's something I'm missing. Let me play for a moment. I really want to nail these strings. Probably the first and foremost thing is just let's put some reverb on them so they sound like a studio, like an orchestra studio. Probably like this. And then let's EQ the snot out of them to really try to get that intimate vibe. And then let's go one step further and use the S1 Imager plugin from Waves, which lets us move the sound wherever we want it to within the space. So I'm going to actually tighten it up in the middle to make it super mono, and then literally hit the mono button so that it becomes mono. I think it's a big part of this too, is making things more mono. Quick question from Raphael about Contact versus VSL. Vienna is just different, very, very different. I don't really prefer one over the other. I use Contact 80% of what I do. So if you don't have either, go for Contact first. But Vienna, it just has a very specific sound that is very good for sketching and writing quickly because they're very small samples. And they almost have a cheesiness factor or a slightly less quality that is actually preferred in some situations like this. All right, let's get back to the story. That's what this is all about. I have like 15 windows open right now. Here we go. So the whole idea is we want this to have that old-timey vibe, but also clearly we're trying to do this whole synth thing. So let's focus on a synth. So I'm thinking Massive is going to be the best place to start. We'll either make one or find a preset, but we'll call this the cow synth. I don't know if we want it to be a lead instrument or not, but it needs to be, I'm thinking like a theremin type sound is probably what they're going for, because that's a pretty sci-fi 50s thing. I don't even know if that's an option here. Let's look in the T's. And if not, I can always just use a square wave. Cowbell. Why can't I hear you? Yum bum bum bum. Nah, okay, so let's go into our browser and we'll find something. I want to find a synth lead that's very soft and probably monophonic. All right, let's play. And let's also go to the envelope 4 where we can change the attack. Something like that. Oh, that's so good. a space cow. The reverb helps too, and the delay. Come on, 5/7 chord. That's totally it. And the piano will kind of figure this out. Let me create a second pass in case I want to keep that. Like that. So let's tell a story. That might just make a good intro, honestly. Especially if we take out the strings. Probably best for here. Totally brainstorming here, but I think this would make a great... Let's just continue that chord progression. What the heck? Somehow I deleted all my stuffs. There it is. All right. Sometimes less is more when it comes to layers. All right, so I'll put some. All right. Oops. There you go. Something like that. You know, like an old talkie. So the whole story here is about Cal leaving home to go into space. To go home and share her data for science. So I want to explore and share my data to show what's more. So let's just play, shall we? Yum bum bum bum, ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum, ba da ba da ba dum ba dum, ba dum bum bum ba dum. Yum bum ba dum. Let's try again. Yum bum, dun dun da dum, ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum. Yum bum ba dum, ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum, ba da ba da ba dum ba dum bum ba da dum bum. Yum bum Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Then we can go into the chorus. So let's try that. So that means I can just double all this stuff down here. But first, this is a Cubase-ism. We have to merge everything to like solidify it. And then I can cut stuff and move it. All right, let's move it over. And that way we now have a verse that's twice as long, but the melody changed a little bit, and then the chorus will come in. So let's listen to some of that. All right, so then just bumping this up a little bit. This needs a shaker. Just like that. Let's put her in. Call this shaker. Put it down here with the brush kit. Probably need quite a bit of that. It gives it some more realism and life and stuff. So let me get this ready. Big shaker kind of gives more of a jazzy vibe. Yum bum ba dum ba da ba da ba dum bum 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 ba da ba da ba dum ba dum bum ba da dum bum. Yum bum ba dum ba da ba da ba dum bum 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 ba da ba da ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum. It helps so much. All right, let's hear that in context. And really all I do with something like this is trim it up to where it starts, put a little fade in, do the same thing at the end, find where it ends, put a little fade out, and then go to that track, and it was recorded with one microphone, so it's a mono, and then just go in here and clean it up with an EQ. So we're gonna take off all the low end, take off a tiny bit of the high end, find where the sweet spot is, and milk it. Yum bum ba da. Ba dum bum ba da dum bum. Yum bum ba dum ba da ba da ba dum bum 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba. Yep, final lyric. But you know what? This is such a fast way to write songs, truly. There's nothing better than just singing, even if it's just nonsense lyrics. Yum bum ba da. Yum bum ba da. Ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum. Let's see what this intro feels like if we take out all the motion. Probably sounds really cool. So what I want to do is actually grab some tremolo strings from Contact. And let's put these up here. This will be my intro. I think it'll be a way more interesting. Hope you agree. So let's pull those open real quick. So strings, just to kind of set the tone. It's loading. There we go. Ensemble, please load. Please. Longs. Ugh. That's what happens when you max out your drives with sample instruments. They take forever and a day to load. Bum, bum, ba-dum. This is literally why I grab real instruments, because I just can't stand this right here. And even if, I've done templates and such, and it helps if you already know what you want, but since I'm someone who typically creates from the ground up, it's not helpful. Oh, come on. One day, this is literally to answer your question earlier, Raphael, about Contact versus VSL. This is why, right here. Like I'm about to open up a VSL just to get something. There we go. So I'm going to just follow the chords with some high tremolos. Just set my mics there, turn down the whole instrument quite a bit. And we'll put a lick of reverb. Hall, about 15% or so. Something like that. Yum bum ba da. That's cool. Here we go. Yum bum ba da. I'll do even more reverb on them, about 21%. Yum bum ba da. Ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum. Ba da ba da ba dum ba dum. Ba dum bum ba da dum bum. Yum yum. Yum bum. Yum bum ba da. Ba da ba da. Yum bum ba da. Ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum. Ba da ba da ba dum ba dum. Ba dum bum ba da dum bum.
Yum bum ba dum. Ba da ba da ba dum bum bum bum. Ba da ba da ba dum bum. Ba dum bum 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 bum.
I assume this is a cowgirl, or else they would have said a bull, right? So it's going to be one octave higher than I can sing. That's not true, but gotta get some piano.
Yum bum ba
pedal with, or the piano with no pedal. That's cool. All right, then we gotta actually do something. I'm not sure if that's the verse or the chorus, to be honest. Cool. Yeah, no pedal needed here. I'm gonna put a compressor on that piano. It's a little much. Piano, whenever piano's an ensemble, it almost always needs compression because the range, the dynamic range of piano is so extreme. And it's almost always in the mid to high range. And thanks for joining us, Devin. And David, what's up? Love accordion, and this is a perfect use of it. This whole soundtrack has accordion in it, and one of the creators of the show is an accordion player, and he's like, sign me up, I'll play accordion for everything. So trying to think of what would be a good chord progression now that we've done a lot of this style is very picky. And that's hilarious, Raphael, about Chip and Dale episode. There's no sevenths. I feel like there's a lot of let's think about the story. Where would we go with the story? I feel like that's the chorus. Nope. Something like that. So I'm trying to think of like what's the one instrument that won't fail me here. It's the bass. stay in this style, I can't really modulate it, can't really go different places. Oh no. I was so close. There it is, right into the next verse. Even though it's not really I don't know how the structure is going to work yet, but hey, welcome to the show, to the fam. So this should be an F. Cool, and that brings us right back to what we had before. So basically this is an A and a B section. I haven't quite decided what on earth, which is which. That's okay. The main thing is we now have a repeat back by going to the 4 chord, which is the A flat. Cool. So for now, just, call it verse chorus, but that could flip. So let's get the chords in here. That way I know what to play next. What do we got here? A flat to E flat. I think A flat. What's that? B flat. Pretty standard. There's really not much room to go anywhere out of key. You gotta keep it in the E flats. Pretty standard. Almost like a bridge progression. A flat, E flat. Then I think I do F to B flat. That way it comes back to 1, which is the E flat. Getting there. There we go. Just rolling with that idea. Question from Raphael says, is there any big difference between alphabetical musical form and versed chorus form? In this case, would not the chorus be a B section? I still don't get form as well as other topics. It is what you make it, I guess. Typically in a verse chorus form, it's a pop song, so it does actually follow a structure. So typically there's an intro, verse, chorus, chorus, and then a bridge potentially, then back to a double chorus and an outro. So that's like a typical pop song with about 3 minutes long. So it's a great way to structure your music, but instrumental music could be anything, right? It could be A, B, A, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, A, B, A, B, whatever. There's a lot of different ways you could do it, but as far as what is typical, I like to start with what is typical and then break the rules if we need to. Helps with the repetition of things. Let's do it. I'm liking this cow synth. It's fun. Almost had it there. This feels like Super Mario Galaxy meets Diddy Kong Racing. That's literally the two things I'm thinking about right now. And I'm okay with that. I do like that we get to have the modulation there, the F chord. Because I think it's supposed to be an F minor. But we've already established from the very beginning that the F here is the second chord. So it's pretty cool. Very unexpected. I mean, this gives more of a theremin vibe anyway, but it's still a synth. I like it. Let's get more of that goodness in my life. Dun, dun, ba-dum. I'm also getting the vibes of the singing frog from Looney Tunes, like Merry Melodies. You know what I'm talking about. Da-dun, da-dun. I love da-dun. Who could ask for anything more? Let's just record that little melody. We can work around it later. Complete once you get the little shoulder shrug going. Just to redeem myself here slightly, I am going to I'm sing it one octave lower. That way it won't sound so dumb. Yum bum bum. Ba crazy that sounded right here. La da 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 da. It's like island music now. I think one of these days I'm destined to write for a racing game. Just putting that out there. Because most of what I write sounds like that. Yes, please. What an amazing idea, Devin. Speeding it up. All right, folks, that is all that I have focus for today. But what a fun idea to speed it up. That was cool. It's cool, guys. We're going to export out what we have so far as the Up and Away demo to send off to the team, because I never want to get too crazy deep into these pieces, these songs, just in case, they don't like them. We got to restart. But pretty happy with what we have so far today from both the Monkeys version of the shrimp industry and Up and Away in this old-timey 50s style, which is pretty interesting. And at the end of the day, the orchestration is going to be phenomenal. It's going to sound really cool, regardless of which style we go. So I'm excited about that. But thanks, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. That was a pretty short stream today, knocking out 2 pieces in an hour and a half. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Hope you guys have a lovely day. I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll see you next time. Let's play out the current demo version of Up and Away as I export this bad boy. We'll enjoy that together, but it does require me to set my little looper bar here. Dun dun da da. This is called Up and Away. This is the demo. Let's do it, folks, and I'll see you next time.